All right, let's see if we can load back in, not have the game crash on me. We do get white screen, but at least my menu items are back. That's good. Enjoy the white screen of death for a little bit. All right, so the Panthers at 23 take tight end George Griffey, which means we're up next at 24. And at 24, we can take the last of the good tight ends. Of course, we still have Kyle Pitts. This guy looks like the best tight end in the draft. So we have the tight end option in Randolph. More pressing need would be Davison, though. So we take Davison over him. And then Nick Hamilton. Game did get worse on release day. I'm leaning towards Hamilton. I think it's safety. I don't necessarily trust Richardson. We have Sullivan and Patton later on. I don't trust this guy. I mean, I agree the jumping's good, the agility's good, but the strength and 40 yards is a little bit too low. The only thing that intrigues me is it says he's an early first-round talent, so he probably is pretty damn good. He probably is. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that. I'd love to end up with Davison, Hamilton, or that safety in kind of any combination. Could we get Hamilton or Davison later on? Here's my thinking. We can take Hamilton and Davison outright. Or we can take that safety, hope he's good, and then hopefully end up with one of these two guys by the end of the draft or by the end of the round. I don't know if I trust Tony Richardson, but that early first-round talent projection might be too good to deny. Because you remember in the last draft, we had a player like that. I wasn't sold on him. We took him. He ended up being great. That was KC on the D-line. Our first pick of the second round isn't until the 16th as well. So it's 2 out of 3 unless we trade up. J.D. Davison. Nick Hamilton. I just have a feeling if I don't take the safety, I'm going to regret it. I just have the feeling. Who was the fastest safety in the draft? How big of a speed difference is there? Do I have the fastest safety pinned here? So a 4.53 was worthy of 6th. So he is potentially 2/10.
Oh, good for you!
God, he's pretty slow. Jamie, thank you for the follow. I don't trust that 40 time. I feel like the best linebacker in this draft, hands down, is Hamilton. But there's also no doubt in my mind that Davison is the best defensive lineman left on our draft. This guy's 23, Jawan McLean. He's probably not that bad. Evan Presley didn't take part in the combine. He's 6'6", by the way. Jesus Christ. So there's interesting options on both the D-line and the linebacker core. I'm going to go for J.D. Davison. Another high overall, but another normal dev. Fuck. He's 21. He'll have time to break out, just like the guy that we took. The corner there. But we're not getting lucky with breakouts here. Or we're going to have to get lucky with breakouts because we're not getting great options out of the gates. So, 2 very usable players, but we need breakout moments. Pick number 30 is our next. We'll see who the Broncos take at 25. Hoping that linebacker Hamilton's still on the board. Hoping. I could trade up to get him, but I want to hold on to some of our picks. So we'll see here. Once the white screen of doom goes away. After the fog subsides, exactly. If it ever does. Tony Richardson, 79 overall safety. I had a feeling I'd regret it. Fuck. Well, welcome to my first official fuck-up of Madden 21 drafting. That was it. We galaxy brained that shit. And botched it. I said take both. Warrior, you shut your face. If it was up to you guys, we'd have no cap space ever. Did I say Madden 21? Madden 22. You know what the fuck I mean. I'm in pain. Leave me alone. Titans take 75 corner Chuck Cooper. The Bears at 27 take 72 linebacker Crosby. And the Bucks at 28 took Hamilton. Worst case scenario. Oh my God, Toogie misspoke in a moment of pain. Toogie, did you know you misspoke in a moment of pain? Why weren't you thinking about correctly calling it Madden 22 when it's basically Madden 21 right now anyway? Toogie, did you know? Shut up! Nobody cares! Shut up! Fucking Christ. That was the worst case scenario. We didn't get the linebacker. We also lost the safety. Motherfucker. And pick number 29 for the Dolphins. They take Morrison, a 73 receiver. Cool. Cool. Well, that was awful. Because that safety's going to end up being great. And, yeah. That linebacker Hamilton's gone, too. So, we have Kirk Randolph at tight end that we could take. It wouldn't be that bad. I can't believe that safety was that good. Fuck. I'm not going to take the risk on Madrano. We need a linebacker. It could be Kai Clifford, who I don't trust at all. Or George Bullocks, who I don't trust at all. Franklin could be a pretty damn good corner. And then we know we're going to need a safety. Patton's got everything but the speed. Sullivan's a little bit worse. If we take a safety, it's probably got to be Patton. Fuck. Worst case scenario, man. Worst case scenario. Again, Randolph is not the biggest position of need. We have an edge rusher pick, so we could look for one of these guys later, but it doesn't have to be now. Fuck, man. Basically, am I taking Franklin? 21, 6'3". Honestly, Franklin could be moved over to safety. Potentially. I like him more than I like Patton. I mean, again, though, for Patton, it's just the speed. And then for Sullivan, I like him even less. Carlos, you might have to be the guy here. I don't trust those linebackers. I'm gonna see who's available here, but needless to say, after that, my confidence is a little bit rocked. If I'm being honest with you, that sucks. We really botched that. First, third, and a sixth. Second, third, and sixth. It starts with a first. Second, third, and a fourth. So we can make the pick. We could get a second, third, and a fourth, or a first, third, and a. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna take that corner because he could very well be our safety option. This draft has not gone according to plan, but we'll do what we can. Carlos Franklin. He's usable, but again, that's our third normal dev player this first round, man. He's usable, but I mean, 92 speed, 90 jumping at 6'3". I'm going to move him over to safety and hope he's a bit better and hope he gets a breakout moment. But all things considered, Not what we needed. And to be honest, I know there's a lot of players that I want still, but I think we're just going to sim ahead to the second round. I'm tired of looking at the horrible blinding screen, so if it wasn't for this screen, we'd take it a little bit slow till our next pick, but we'll just settle with the 16th pick of round number 2. Fuck. I really thought we were in a great position here to knock this draft out of the park. And now here we are, unfortunately. So Presley and McLean are both still available. We have the 26th and the 30th picks as well. Simpson's still there. Bullock is still there. Frank, in case you couldn't take the hint, I already told people I'm tired of hearing everyone mention, hey, move the team, move the team. I'm not moving the team. Evan Presley didn't take part in the combine. He's a huge risk as well. God. Bullocks has the speed, the agility somewhat there. And then Simpson is an early third rounder. I wouldn't mind getting him though. Third rounder from Merritt. Keith Bernard at safety. Honestly, Keith Bernard at safety as well could be pretty damn good. He's 21. Right now the pick is Keith Bernard. Giving over Sullivan. We're going to go for the outright safety here. Let's take Keith Bernard out of LSU. Hope to God he's as good as he looks. Finally, we got a hidden dev. 34th in true value. We got him at 48. He's a 74 overall. But we have a decent little safety here to build up. Not bad. Not bad. We have options in the secondary, which is what we needed, for the love of God. We'll advance to the 26th pick. And let's see what we got next. So we're looking, okay, Endo, can you unbop Frank, by the way? All right, let's see who we got here. Honestly, let's do the big reorder here. So 6th rounder, probably a second rounder. Because we don't have a ton of players on the board. Let's do the big reorder here. This guy would be more of a 4th rounder. He'd also be a 4th rounder. Also in second round contention, he would be a 3rd rounder. Simpson is a 2nd round consideration. 5th round for Malcolm McCoy. Newkirk would be considered in the 4th round. Let's get Townsend towards the bottom here. Same thing for Ernie White. Hamlin could be considered as a 3rd rounder. Jarvis Cheeks, get him reordered. Jonathan Taylor, Eric Knox, Jared Boren. Presley's a 2nd round consideration. McLean is 2nd to 3rd round. 2nd to 3rd round, 2nd round, 2nd round, 3rd round there. Calvin Cole, considered more in the 5th round. And we're good. Actually, I guess McLean would be considered 2nd to 3rd round. So, we're looking at the players that are on the board here. Isaiah Bryant at safety. Not bad. We don't really need another safety. He's also 23, has some speed concerns. Sullivan, 22. Again, we don't really need another safety. Some concerns there. Justin Geddes, kind of the same story. Not bad, though. Not bad. There is Scott Simpson, who is the pick unless something crazy happens. Jawan McLean does look like a beast as well, as does Presley. We're taking Simpson, and then hopefully we still end up with Presley or McLean at some point in this draft. Scott Simpson, out of Washington State. 71 overall, hidden dev at 21 years old, 60 in true talent. We got him at 58, so it's technically a reach. But back-to-back hidden devs, 86 speed, 90 acceleration for Simpson. Not bad. Not bad at all. for one Scotty Simpson. Already been deemed Scotty Too Hottie in chat. So there you go. Not bad. Not bad. Next pick is 30th, so right down the line here, and then we get another one after that. So, for our board, Presley and McLean are both still there. We're going to take the risk on Presley. We're in the perfect position now to take the risk on this guy who didn't compete in the Combine at 21. Evan Presley. 44th in true value. We get him at 62. 21 years old. 6'6", 266. A 72 overall. With 86 agility. Evan Presley. I told you guys I was worried about that first round, but I knew we could get some steals in the second and third round, and that is indeed what we have found here. So we're making things happen. Thank God. Jawan McLean is still there. So he is the pick. This draft is no longer a failure. 21st in true talent. We get him at 65. 75 overall, 23-year-old Jawan McLean. 86 agility, 82 tackle. We are crushing the second to third round here. Absolutely crushing it. It's what we needed. Next pick is the 5th pick of this round. So again, coming right up once again after that, we fall back to 19. Who are we taking? Sullivan's still there. Bryant's still there. Anybody that can be considered in the third round. So the top 5 players. Hamlin would be a complete guess. I like the speed and agility, but the reps concern me, but he's 21. So maybe. Jeff Merritt at corner. Very well-rounded and was the strongest corner of the drafts. Demetrius Bryan, complete shot in the dark for a 23-year-old DT. And then Bryant, pretty well-rounded, maybe a little bit slow. And Sullivan, pretty well-rounded, just doesn't have the speed, or the strength, excuse me. So, I'm a little bit worried about the safety options, if I'm being honest. We've already taken 3 members of the secondary. We haven't taken an offensive lineman in this draft. That's because we don't really need one. But he's also the youngest option. And then Jeff Merritt is interesting for sure. I gotta be honest, I like Merritt more than Bryant and Sullivan. The fact that he's younger. And then Bryan and Hamlin are complete shots in the dark. I'm gonna go with my gut. We're gonna take Jeff Merritt with this pick. He's a depth option. 72 overall though, so a useful player at 22. Normal dev. 92 speed and acceleration, 87 jumping. He's not bad. And thankfully we don't have to rely on him to have a breakout moment, but if he does, he's a solid pick. But we are at the stage now where this is going to be best guess in a lot of ways. We'll see how we do at the end of the draft, obviously, compared to everyone else. And a lot of the guys we were considering are now off the board, so we'll see if we made the right choice. But third round here, we're having to look at guys that are considered for the 4th round, so it's between the top 3. DeAndre Rutland, again, not bad at safety. Joey Gilbert, probably better. And Jabari Newkirk, who has the speed and the strength, but not so much the agility. And looks like Gilbert might be the best option out of that bunch. Let's go for him. Joey Gilbert, 67. 21 years old, 67. Don't know if he'll even make the team. Damn. So we might be dropping the ball here in the 3rd round, but I mean, there's no doubt we've had a pretty damn good draft. It hasn't been perfect, but that's okay. As Newkirk is still there, so he'll be the pick. 67 normal dev, so depth linebacker for us with Newkirk. Looks like our luck in this draft has run out, but that is okay. So we get pick number 26 here of round number 4. Then we get the first pick of round 5. Only 3 guys left that we have info on. Malcolm McCoy. Could be a beast. Paul Baisley. Not bad. Greg Randall. Also not bad. I'd consider these 2 first. Malcolm McCoy's the pick. 66. Well, it is the 4th round after all. And unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to scout a lot of people. What do we got next? We'll take Randall. 65 at 21. Another depth player. So yeah, we're definitely likely done with any major hits in this draft. But that's okay. And we don't have a pick in round 6. Denver just got a pretty good pick. Could take the risk with Baisley. Not really feeling it. So then from there, it's just kind of best guess wishful thinking for the rest of this draft. Let's go for the quarterback, Ernie White. Why not? We'll see if we can get lucky with the guy out of Miami. He is a 56, so we did not get lucky with the guy out of Miami. It was worth the risk. And then round number 7, first pick. And our final pick of the draft. At least it rebounded well. We'll look at one of the 2 offensive tackles. It is either Eric Knox, who looks like a beast, or Boren, and it'll clearly be Eric Knox out of Alabama, who was only a 61. So, out of the 4 drafts I've done in Madden so far, that was the worst, which really goes to show just how well we've hit on the picks that we have had this year. As crazy as it is, let's look at the recap. So we will go around the league. So the draft started off with the QB madness, Dalton Pittman. So the Saints got their QB for the future. We already have ours. We traded down from the number 1 overall pick. They got Pittman. Roy McDonald, who I thought might be the better of the bunch, and he is a 77, but normal dev. I was right that he'd have the higher overall. Paul Mann went 3rd overall, normal dev. All right, so 2 out of the top 3 picks are normal dev, and then Cam June, the other quarterback, normal dev. Man, this draft class, 2, 3, and 4, all normal dev. Marquise Brooks. We should have taken him 1st overall. We didn't know, though. The combine results were scary. We should have, with hindsight, we should have taken Marquise Brooks 1st overall. 67 overall, Knighton. Hidden dev, but he's a 67 for Miami, just to show you how weird this draft is. James Castle, 72 QB to the Raiders, normal dev. Jesus. Dante Atkinson, 75 edge, hidden dev. Not bad for the Cardinals. Jerron Russell, 78 DT, hidden dev for the Eagles. Very good. Tavon Jennings, 77 receiver, normal dev. Minefield was accurate. Carrington, 73 corner, hidden dev for the Lions. Pat Boone, 74 edge, normal dev for the Pats. We should have taken that safety, but this was brutal. And then Denzel Tongue, 76 receiver, hidden dev at 6'5" with 93 jumping. That is 2 years in a row that I've missed out on a massive wide receiver with good jumping. We could have taken him number 1. We could have taken the safety number 1. I would have taken the safety over him. There was pretty much no way we were ending up with that guy without trading up. Bonner, 70 guard, hidden dev for the Ravens. Belton, 75 receiver, hidden dev for the Browns. Ben Singh, 72 edge, normal dev for the Bills. Yikes. Harvey Meekins was the other receiver we liked. He was also hidden dev at 6'4". 95 jumping at 6'4". There were 2 of those type of receivers. The Cardinals, or excuse me, the Chargers now have 2 like 6'4", 6'5" receivers with 90+ jumping. Deontay Carroll, good old lineman. We identified him as such. And then Paul Reddick was a 77, but normal dev for us. So that first round could have gone a lot better. Hindsight, man, it's a killer. We weren't really considering Ewing. We weren't really considering Sharp, but he was normal dev. We liked Griffey at tight end. He was hidden dev. Moneyman, yes, they are. We ended up with Davidson and Tony Richardson. So we missed out on 2 great safeties. If I could redo this draft, we keep the number 1 overall pick and draft Denzel Tongue. And then we would have traded up to get Richardson. Or you could have gotten the other safety and still traded up to get Tongue. So yeah, unfortunately we missed out on 2 great safeties and a great wide receiver. Damn. Hamilton. Wouldn't have worked either. Damn. Yeah, we placed our bets with the wrong people, unfortunately. We banked on the wrong players. We needed one of those safeties, and then that wide receiver would have been nice, but again, J.D. Davison, Nick Hamilton, they weren't it. They're not bad, but they weren't the, hopefully, elite players of the future. Who else were we considering? Kirk Randolph at tight end. It would have been nice, but we have Kyle Pitts. Kai Clifford at linebacker. Thank God the 2nd and 3rd round went pretty well for us because we fucked up. Braden Smith at running back we were identifying, but he disappeared off the board. Pat McCauley, Bernard Freeman. Patriots looks like they had a rough draft. Good dev pattern, but he's 23. Patton, Luke Keys, Forrest Minor. Bullocks, the linebacker, normal dev for him. It could have, here's the thing about this draft. It could have gone better. It could have gone a lot worse, I think, is what we're seeing here. We didn't get all the great players we wanted, but it could have been awful. It could have been. So, not a great draft, but not a horrible draft. Who else were we looking at here? Geddes, hidden dev for that safety. But we did get Juwan McLean in that round, so no regrets there. We also got Merritt, who had normal dev. Let me guess, Sullivan was hidden. No, he was also normal. Demetrius Bryan at DT, also normal. Hamlin on the O-line was hidden dev. I am walking away with way, way more regrets from this draft than I wish I had. Way more. We still have an incredible team. We still had a pretty good draft, but it could have gone much better. Raiders got a 74 running back in round 4, hidden dev. And we were looking at him too. We looked at the name Darren Rush. Damn. Yes, Nuge, all good dev patterns start hidden. So you have star, superstar, and then the superstar X factors. And obviously that determines on how much XP they generate, how fast they can level up. Scott Saunders, how good was he? Normal. Not bad for round 4. What about round 5? Not a bad pick for Denver there. Round 6, no 70s. And round 7, no 70s. So we did pretty well. Like I said, it could have been better, it could have been worse. It was closer to good than it was bad. And we still have $40 million in salary, right? Like, that's the thing. We have draft picks for the future still. As per usual, when the draft ends, I get disconnected from the server. Great work, EA. That's happened all 4 times now. But I think all we're going to have to do is just look at, look at the team. Hey, look, it's Tom Brady. We'll just have to look at the team and kind of, soften the blow of some of those mistakes, and we'll be all right. So let's take a look at the roster as it stands. We'll have to do a little bit of organizing. At quarterback, Colt Johnson. these other guys are gone. Obviously, a lot of them are practice squad players. We'll look in free agency to see if there was anybody half decent. But Colt Johnson's our guy at QB. Running back wise, Beverly is our number 1. Pollard behind him, and then JV and Hawkins. We do have some practice squad options. There's advantage to do an owner mode of a coach. Well, you can't be fired in owner mode. That's probably the primary advantage. No getting fired. Actually, so you know what we'll do here? Let's look at the free agent list. And right out of the gates, we'll take a look to see if there are any UDFAs we're worth picking up. So quarterback-wise, we could bring in Cam Newton. We could bring in Taysom Hill, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Nick Foles. If there is not a half-decent UDFA option here to have as our backup QB. So keep those names in mind if we have a preference, Chad. It doesn't matter to me. Dave Bush, George Reed. Do any of you want to be half-decent? I doubt you do. You are just like not going to find a Tom Brady here. So NHL 22 is staying the same in that you still have medium elite, but there's now X factors too. So it's still very similar. Just the X factor abilities are in. Yeah, we might as well sign a vet. Any preferences? Newton, Fitzpatrick, Hill, Foles. I mean, Taysom Hill, the Swiss Army knife. We could stop Fitzmagic from retiring on the free agent list, but Taysom Hill has 90 speed. Which is pretty nuts. Newton's down to an 87. And of course, the chat's going to be very divided. I'll come back. Running back wise, we don't need a good depth option, but again, if there's another younger UDFA with a good dev pattern, looks like it might end up being Taysom Hill here. Anybody at all. We need someone with a half decent overall too, so they got to be like a 60 or above. Even be worth it. Thought the game crashed already, to be honest. Jaden Haynes. Wonder how many times the game will crash while we try to set up the team. That's what I'm interested in. Braxton Dudley. Yeah, we're not getting so lucky here. And again, I'm trying to gauge whether or not a UDFA challenge will be possible this year. And, well, with the draft class quality like this, I don't know if it's possible. We'd need a lot of luck in training. Alright, so there's basically nobody there. Taysom Hill could be our new Tim Tebow at fullback. I mean, we have a good fullback, though. Let's go with Taysom Hill. There's quite a bit of support for him there. We'll sign him up. Fullback-wise, unless Kramer's amazing, which he's not. Wide receiver-wise, obviously we're pretty stacked in the position already. Alan Elam, not bad, but we need a good starting overall and a good dev pattern. Kevin Carroll, Delonte Bush. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get so lucky. Travis Madigan's not bad if he could get a breakout moment, but I can't put him in a position to get a breakout moment, so he would need star dev out of the gates, and yeah. So it's like UDFA challenge, if we could only sign players like this, we'd get breakout moments and these guys could actually make it. But we're so stacked that I can't afford to sign them unless they have a dev pattern that really forces the issue here, and they just don't. Yeah, none of them do. Okay, so just to check the team again, now that we kind of know what we're doing with those first few spots. Quarterback-wise, we will end up putting Ernie White on the practice squad, most likely. We'll carry 3 running backs. Running back-wise, it's going to be Pollard, Beverly, and Hawkins. So Gaddis, who I ended up signing, I'll probably practice squad him, and then Joe Warfield was just a rando. He's out. Fullback's good. Wide receiver, again, it's Ridley, McLaurin, Hardwick, Holcomb, Gage, and Mike Williams was a practice squatter, so we'll get rid of him. That receiver core is outrageous. Our top 3, slot receiver and Holcomb. I'm excited for this year. And then tight end wise, we do need to sign one other dude. Playoffs this year. I don't know if the defense has taken a big enough step forward. We'll see. And indeed, Malone X Factors will be in NHL. So Gronk is out there as a vet. Might not be the worst option. Unless there's a half-decent rookie. Aldridge. Oh, congratulations to Mr. Rob Gronkowski. He'll be a Falcon for the year. On the O-line, same thing. We need half-decent dev patterns or they're not worth signing. Andrew English. Left guard. JT White. Yeah, not so lucky. Dwight Porter. Connor Betts. Nope. Yeah, nobody there. At center. Wow, these guys are all trash. Okay. Nobody over a 60, a couple of 40s. Right guard. Do get a couple of 60s to look at. Jared Bourne, who I consider drafting. Not great. Jared Gannon, son of Rich. Not that great. And Martin Wentz. Not that great. I wasn't really expecting great UDFAs when the quality of the draft itself was questionable. But you never know. Jalen Aldridge, not that good. All right, cool. So the offensive line, for the most part, then is set. I mean, we did draft an O-lineman, at least one, if I'm not mistaken. And we also signed somebody. So we'll have to work it around a little bit. Like Peter McClure was a practice squatter from last year. I'll have to figure that out. Defensively, same thing. We really don't need any high overalls because we ended up with Marcus Davenport, who is a superstar, and then J.D. Davison behind him. So J.D. will be a good depth player. We could make the call of playing Davison over Davenport to try and get a breakout moment for a more long-term solution. Not quite sure what we want to do there. Kind of forgot about the Davenport signing when we drafted Davison, so we at least have an option, which is pretty nice. So left edge here, do we have anybody? Anybody at all? Deion Craig? No. What about this guy? Sammy Schaefer. Honestly, I'll sign him for the moment anyway, because he could just be good depth. Jerry Webster, normal. Tremaine Hodges, normal. And then Deion Craig, we already know. All right. Defensive tackle. We do need a third option, preferably a rookie. Honestly, Quentin Bohanna's not that bad. We'll sign him for the moment, in case we don't find anybody else. Rodney Stecker, Glenn Atkins. Yeah, we're finding nobody here. Sean Derby, Tevin Lewis. Yeah, there's just nobody, man. Not a single half-decent player apparently slipped through, unfortunately. Landon. That's how you spell Landon, huh? Ben Peppers. Bryce Jackson. Nothing. Bobby Bank. Nope. Can't even find one. It's a good thing we signed Quentin Bohanna. And on the right-hand side, as well look. Joey Porter. Nope. Was hoping it was a regen Joey Porter, but it didn't happen. Isaiah Clark is a second-year pro. We'll sign him for the moment. Paul Burks, not good enough. I think we had him last year. Skylar Bass, not good enough. And then linebacker, I don't think we needed anybody who was half decent. So again, same target. Let's see if we can find someone with star dev. Maybe train him up a little bit. I am not holding my breath at this stage, I'll tell you that much. Can't find anybody, man. Nobody. Anybody at middle linebacker? Like, man, normally we at least find like one or two. Chip Hutchins. Why couldn't you be good? Every team needs a chip. On the right-hand side, Cole Britton. Oh. Wow, Kyle Fuller and Bryce Callahan are there. I think we're good, though, at corner. Like, we wouldn't need them as kind of short-term seat fillers, you know? Lonnie Kyle. And so normally we find corners because there are people that have half-decent overalls. We'll sign Mitch Huggins for a second. Kobe Chambers, Zach Jones, just nothing. The bad luck continues. This, I mean, outside of... I mean, we got Terry McLaurin, let's be honest. If we get followed up with a little bit of bad luck after getting Terry McLaurin, that's a fair trade. That's a fair trade. Yeah, none of these guys are apparently going to have a dev pattern that'll make them worth signing. Buckhalter, nope. Featuring Hurd, I'm going to keep looking. Due diligence here. Toxic determination. Lonnie Kyle, there's a no. I think we're about good. I don't recognize the name Cassius Hayes, though. He's a second-year pro. All right, well, we're good there then. Safeties. The last real position to check here. The only guy would be DeAndre Warner. Nope. And then, okay, so we're good. We got who we wanted. So let's see, 73 out of the 75 max. Let's sort out this team. So it won't take as long to sort out this team. So in quarterback, we have our plan here. Ernie White will be practice squatted. Gaddis will be dropped to the practice squad. Receivers were set. Tight end were set. Gronk will be the third stringer. The O-line, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Eric Knox will probably be practice squatted this year. We'll have to sort out who plays where. Defensive end. Honestly, I mean, we have some decent younger options. Marlon Davidson can be dealt. Taquan Graham. An interesting one. Honestly, yeah, Sammy Schaefer, hate to say it, but just outright cut him instead of keeping him. McLean, we have Presley. Honestly, yeah, Isaiah Clark can go. And we'll look to trade Marlon Davidson here. Just don't really have space for him, and he never really took off. Anybody interested? Oh, boy. Okay, there we go. The Raiders. Work out a deal here. Involving draft picks, second and a third will probably be too much. What about just a second? What about just a third? Done deal. So we move on from Marlon Davidson. We send him to the Raiders for a third-round pick this year. Honestly, Taquan Graham probably has to go as well. I doubt anyone's going to be interested. Which means hopefully practice squad, if not outright release. Yeah, no one's really interested, so they'll be practice squatted. We'll have Bohanna as our third string DT. Behind Wilcox and Childs. Linebacker. Ogundeji. We're going to need a better option there. And then Simpson, again, has hidden. So we'll be moving Barnes back to middle linebacker and playing Simpson on the outside. Which is a bit of a risk, but at least then we're pretty stacked at middle linebacker with he and Jones. Give Simpson a chance to develop long term. We got to look for a better bit of... Oh boy, okay. Well, the game's going to crash in a minute. The player glitches started up, so... Get ready to have to restart here in a minute. And we drafted McCoy. Drafted Newkirk. We have Michael Walker. Garvin can go. It's pushing out bad now. So we have 1, 2, 3. Let's go 1, 2, 3. 4. I think actually we're good at linebacker. We could technically use 1 extra for the outside, but we're okay. And then we have 1,000 corners that we really have to sort through. Ricky Bayless can go. Holy shit, that glitch. I'm just going to restart the game now before it crashes. Never mind, it just crashed. I mean, again, you can tell when it's about to crash. I have to uninstall and reinstall this. What a disaster. What a disaster this game is right now. My goodness. Time to move to F1. I do want to see the team in action, or at least get the team totally set up, and then maybe we'll you can't fire me, I quit, right? Maybe we'll cliffhanger it and start season 3 tomorrow, once hopefully uninstalling and reinstalling you know, fixes whatever the hell is going on with this game as of the past 2 nights. Because my god, it's the dumbest. It is the dumbest. Alright. Yeah, so King Tut, unfortunately the scoring glitch is a thing in Madden that's pretty well known and very, very shitty. Might as well open up my... Here, I'm trying to appease the EA gods by going into MUT for a second and opening my lovely drop that you can also get just by watching this channel. I got 2 golds and 1. Look out. Look out, 2 golds and 1. The stars are shining down upon me. Beautiful. Beautiful. They'll be great for trade-in sets. They'll be great for trade-in sets. Back to franchise, damn it. Back to franchise. Alright. So again, back to setting up this team after having to restart the game for a 1,000th time. Linebacker, we should be okay. Corners. Freeman's got to go. Sorry. Mitch Huggins. Good young player. You got to go. And then we get into the players that we drafted, which we will keep pretty much the best of the rest. We might as well see if Carlos Franklin is still going to be a good safety. Gatewood was practice squad. We're going to have to cut a decent amount of people. Greg Randall didn't have a dev pattern. We do need to move on from Jalen Hawkins. He just kind of never took off. Is anybody interested? I highly doubt that changes to yellow for anybody. So he'll be practice squatted, if not outright released. Yeah, we have some decisions to make, for sure. But we'll get there. So, preseason, week 1. We're not going to fully set up the team yet. I'm going to wait until I can actually set it up properly. Let's see what we got. We'll look for the interception option. And we'll start off by training up the offense. So we're talking Colt Johnson and nobody else. We're talking Marquise Beverly. I'm not going to worry too much about Tony Pollard because he's a depth option. Well, I mean, I guess we could train up Pollard and Gaddis. Or not Gaddis, but Hawkins. Maybe even Gaddis. Why the hell not? Hopefully it'll get someone to claim him. Ingold at 27. It's too far gone. And, could argue the merit of putting McLaurin in there. But we will. Well, X Factors and NHL have just one type, or will it be bronze, silver, gold? So essentially, the zone X Factor is the strongest. It would be like a significant upgrade, and then you'd have like an in-between upgrade. That would be the secondary type of styles, which kind of work like abilities do in this. So it works like Madden. You have one overwhelmingly good ability, and then you can have some other minor abilities. I forget what the limit is. I think you can have like six different X Factor abilities on one person, I think. Sounds like abilities in NHL when you pick boosts. Yeah, kind of. Kyle Pitts is up to a 91. Absolute machine. I can't wait to see this offense, though. That's the worst part, if we do get blue-balled by this game being trash and crashing all the time. Then, I mean, shit, what are you going to do? Alright, am I allowed to put people on the practice squad yet? So that's kind of what we're waiting for. No. So basically I gotta wait until it lets me put people on the practice squad. Do X factors yield different specific animations to the player? I think so, to be honest, because that's kind of what they highlighted with Vasilevsky. Was that extra bit of agility allowed him to make saves that a normal goalie couldn't make. Don't quote me on that, but it makes sense. So Ridley's 28. Let's boost up Hardwick here. Boost up Holcomb. We'll also go for Jermaine Cage. For the tight end, Pitts. And Bolin. And we'll start on the O-line with Colbert. Again, hopefully this team gets a little bit better this year. Just a little bit. We do have a dynasty in the making. As Greg Hardwick at receiver gets better. He's up to a 79 as our third option. Very excited for him. Marquise Beverly, our #1 running back, stays at the 76, but again, he is a tank. Javian Hawkins will be our third choice running back. Make him better as a power back, make him more well-rounded. Joe Holcomb, our slot receiver in training. He's now a scheme fit. Try to make sure he stays a scheme fit. Jermaine Gage, depth wideout. Get him some better route running. He's actually a 70. Reaver can just build a true PTA build. Pretty much, yeah. You should have the ability now, even more so, as like a grinder, or, you know, like essentially a Crosby builder, or whoever. Thomas Holmstrom or whoever. Just park your ass in front and do great things. It should be possible. Should be. Goaltending will be fun this year for people, I'm sure. I think we'll see an even further separation of average goalies to good goalies. I think that skill gap is going to be phenomenal. All right. Apparently Mayfield is slightly injured. We're 1-1 in the preseason. We'll train up Holly a little bit. Train up Blackburn. Hayden Holcomb. Bradbury's too old. Kappa's too old. We'll train up Dahlman. Again, Knox is likely to end up on the practice squad, but in case he doesn't, we'll give him a bit of time. Then Lundstrom. Nathan Gerby Johnson coming. Could happen. Alright, and more player upgrades, of course, because it's the preseason. Colt Johnson gets even better. Still a 77. Improved play action, improved accuracy. Colt Johnson, so great. And Casey Austin is up to a legitimate 80. So again, Casey was the guy I was talking about where I didn't take that second safety in Witherspoon, who was really good when I should have. So here we go. Get to the last week of the preseason. Well, I mean, Philly, just because you upgrade the physics engine for appearance doesn't mean that you then have all of the player faces in the game. It's not how that works. All right, Cortland Ellington is up to a legitimate 80. Not bad. So we got to cut 9 players off of the roster. Let's see what we can do here. So we start off at QB. Ernie White, who we drafted on a whim. He's down to the practice squad. Running back, Deacon Gaddis. And he's down to the practice squad. Wide receiver, we're good. Tight end, we're good. O-line. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I hate to say it, but Eric Knox is down. NHL 22 has frostbite. How come my dad hasn't come back with the milk yet? I mean, it's tough to find milk in this environment. Traquan Graham, like I said, pretty much has to go. He is practice squad eligible. I guarantee he gets claimed. DT, we're good. Linebacker, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7's not bad. That should be enough. We'll just move people around. We'll figure that out in a minute. And then corners. Woodfield, I hate to tell you, you're out. Leary is the one with star dev. He'll stay. Jeff Merritt had normal dev. We just drafted him, but he'll stay. Franklin at 6'3" is the guy that we're tempted to move over to safety. Honestly, Isaiah Oliver needs to get dealt here. Anybody in green or just yellow interest? Yellow interest. So, Minnesota. Are you interested in picking up Isaiah Oliver? We don't need any more. We had to move on from Marlon Davidson. Isaiah Oliver's the next casualty. We got a 3rd round pick for both of them, which is pretty good business. And then at safety, Maurice Winston. We'll go down to the practice squad. Joey Gilbert is likely down to the practice squad as well, unless Randall. Again, Jalen Hawkins just has to outright get released. And let's see how many more players we have to cut. Just one more. One more. 4, 5, and then 6. So out of these guys, 23 and a 68. Gilbert probably has better potential. Randall, not so much. So yeah, sorry to Greg Randall, you gotta go. So that gets us our roster. We are good, in theory. So, first thing we have to check here is the offensive line to see who fits in where. Again, highest awareness rating, you have Colbert at a 79, which is nothing too crazy, 88 strength. Hawley as depth has 62 awareness, 87 strength. You have Alex Blackburn, who's more of a legit option, 77 awareness, 89 strength. And Holcomb as a depth option has 72 awareness and 90 strength. At center, Garrett Bradbury might still stay at center. It is 90 awareness, 92 strength, so he's definitely an interior option. Alex Kappa played center for us, 92 awareness with 86 strength. And Dahlman as a depth option. It is 83 awareness, 88 strength. Right guard, Chris Lindstrom, one of our starters. 92 awareness, 87 strength. And Mayfield as a depth option, 65 awareness, 91 strength. And then at right tackle, it is Hennessy, who is kind of moving into a depth role this year. He is at 87 awareness, 86 strength. So, highest awareness, it's a tie between Kappa and Lindstrom. So I think what we'll do is put the guy with higher strength on the outside. So Kappa's actually still going to be our center. And then next highest strength ratings, we have Blackburn at left guard, Bradbury at right, with Lindstrom moving over to right tackle, and Colbert will stay on the left. Then from there, highest awareness, it'll be Hennessy moving over to the backup center spot. We'll have Holcomb at left guard, Mayfield at right. And then we'll go Hawley at left tackle and Dahlman at right tackle. So, the game froze.
Oh, good for you!
Motherfucker, this game sucks. Scuff, thank you for the follow. Well, at least I figured out what I want to do with the offensive line. So what I'm probably going to have to do, guys, is finalize this team. And then I'm going to go play F1 or like FIFA with the boys if people want to play FIFA. That's up to Endo, Nuge, Reaver. But yeah, this sucks. Hopefully uninstalling and reinstalling fix it. The day one patch ruined this game. Ruined it. Just awful. I'm down for FIFA and GeoGuessr like it's old times. And then we'll be back on Madden tomorrow. Again, I'm still going to try to finish this. Still going to try to finish this and at least show you guys what this team is going to look like. But this game crashing issue really chaps my ass. It did not crash. Oh, fuck, I went to Ultimate Team Set. It didn't crash once during the trial. It's when they when the game released. It's when the game released for everybody. No pre-order bonus involved. That it just crashes and crashes and crashes and crashes and crashes. Like it puts Crash Andrews to shame. Because it will not stop crashing. And I hate it. Alright, so again, NFL rosters. Left tackle, Colbert's good, Hawley's good. Left guard, Blackburn's good, Holcomb is good. Center, we gotta move Bradbury over to right guard. Good old Garrett. The old Brad. Kappa stays, Dahlman moves to right tackle. Right tackle for you, sir. Then we have Bradbury and Mayfield. Lindstrom gets moved. Lindstrom's been moved a couple of times, but now he goes over to right tackle. Or hopefully he'll be okay. And then at right tackle, it is Lindstrom and Dahlman. Again, Matt Hennessy is now the backup center. Unfortunately, he has just kind of been usurped. We can't really rely on him to develop at this stage. He's okay, but not great. And then from here with the rest of the defense, it's kind of a tough call. So we do have Casey Austin, who isn't bad. Endo, can you put out the call to the friendos in the group chat, by the way? I wonder how good Austin is at linebacker. I might have to check that stuff really quickly. Because McLean has hidden dev. Because we want him in. And then Evan Presley also had hidden dev. So we have kind of an interesting predicament on the defensive line. After signing Marcus Davenport, who has Superstar, and then also drafting Davison, who has normal but could get a breakout moment. DT, we're obviously very much set. There's not much else to do there. And then linebacker, of course, it's Ellington. Let me take a look, actually, here. Go over to depth chart. See what we're dealing with. make sure everyone's in their best position possible. So, for defensive end, the ratings are as followed. Davenport is an 85. Ellington is an 81. Austin is an 80. You have Wilcox as a 77. Davison as a 76. McLean is a 75, as is Childs, which means he'll definitely be staying at defensive tackle. You have Presley at a 72. Simpson at a 72, and then Bohanna is terrible. Right-hand side, no unfamiliar names, all the same names. And defensive tackle, it is, of course, Wilcox as a 79. Childs as a 77. Bohanna as a 70. Davison would actually be a decent DT. Kind of surprised. As a 70. McLean is a 73. Davenport, surprise, surprise, would be the highest rated. Austin would be a 79. And Presley, not so hot. And then linebacker, at least on the outside, it is Ellington at an 81. Barnes at a 79. McLean is a 74. Thank you, Endo. Jones is an 88. Davenport is an 85. So Davenport's just as good on the line as he is off of it. You have Austin at a 79. Davison's a 74. Simpson is a 72. You got Walker at a 71. Presley at a 70. Fox, it's looking like it could happen. Madden's a mess. So it's either F1 or if the friendos want to play some FIFA, I'm down. Just trying to finalize setting up this team. Middle linebacker, it is Jones at an 88. Barnes at a 79. Walker at a 70. Newkirk at a 67. Ellington is a 74. Simpson, 69 overall. And McCoy is a 66. Okay, so in terms of figuring out that setup there, again, because unfortunately they still haven't copied it to where it's like NCAA, where you can see even like how good safeties are at linebacker. So I'm kind of keeping it simple. But to look here, solve that issue first. Ender with the 5 gifted. The 5 beautiful gifted subs from Ender.
Fanboy! The man was a fanboy!
Ender, thank you very much. Have I gotten the score glitch? Not yet, shockingly.
Taste the biscuit.
Not yet.
Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
Can't believe it, but the answer is no.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.
So Jones has to play middle linebacker. That is decided. Again, Ender, thank you very much, buddy. I do appreciate you. Clearly, middle linebacker has to be Jones and Barnes. Those two are locked in. Those two are locked in. 2 times, yeah. Like I said, I got really lucky and it hasn't happened yet. Thank God. Middle linebacker. Ellington's got to be an outside linebacker and won't be on the edge. So he's locked in on the outside. Which means we could have Davenport as a linebacker. So if we want to open up space, it can be, let's take a look here. Austin's just as good at linebacker as well, and he's an 83. Davenport would be a big fucking linebacker. The only way to put that. The other outside linebacker has to be Davenport or Austin to have someone with a decent rating. I think we'll go for Davenport just because he's a little bit more developed. We'll move him to outside linebacker. He'll play with Ellington. Which means we're definitely not going to consider Austin there. Austin's going to be needed on the defensive end still. I think Davison will be the other starter to try and get him that normal dev. So McLean's better as a backup defensive end, but also... We're going to try to move Jawan McLean to DT, maybe? We have too many damn good players. That is the honest issue. It's a great issue to have, but that is the issue. So McLean's a decent linebacker. So is Davison. Basically for McLean, it's do you want to be a backup defensive edge or a backup linebacker? Little Simpson out there, which means we'll Walker out of that. So Walker will be a linebacker. Okay, I think I just about have this team sorted. Just about. So it's gonna be those five on the defensive line. So McLean, Davison, McLean, Simpson, and Presley. Okay, I think we got our guys here. So we'll have Casey Austin on the defensive line. McLean as well. Presley as well. Davenport is going to get moved to outside linebacker, which I did not expect, but he is just as highly rated at linebacker as he is on the edge. He might be a bit too big for your traditional linebacker, but I don't hate it. Davison and Austin will be the two starters. Again, we're going to have two hidden dev guys who aren't going to be starters this year, but that's just kind of the nature of the beast. So that is set up well. DT, Wilcox, Childs, Bohanna. And on linebacker, we have Ellington on the outside. In the middle, you got Jones, Barnes, and Walker. We got to move Newkirk to the outside. And hopefully before the game glitches out. Fucking Christy. Fucking Christy, eh? My God. Like, you're actively trying to give people fucking seizures. Holy shit. I am sorry. Like, my God. EA. What is the matter with you? Ellington, Newkirk, Davenport, McCoy, Simpson gets moved to the edge. Doesn't really matter where. Let's see if I can do it without dying from a fucking epileptic seizure, and it fucking crashes. Cool. I seriously hope uninstalling and reinstalling fixes this, because this is awful. And flat out unacceptable. Flat out unacceptable. If uninstalling, Grizz, thank you very much for the Prime sub, buddy. If uninstalling and reinstalling doesn't fix this, we're gonna have to take a break until this is patched. We have to. We're going to have to, because this is absolutely atrocious. Unbelievable. Oh, man. Brutal, brutal, brutal. All I can say. Reinstalling now, it's rough. Yeah, and again, I can only hope that that fixes it. But this is tragic. God damn it, I always end up back in mud. I don't want to. Leave me alone. Because it changes where the hell the icons are. The icons are never permanent. Which they should be. Buy packs. Yeah, if I buy packs, maybe my game will stop crashing. Right? It's a possibility. Again, Scott Simpson we drafted as a linebacker. I'm going to try to put on the edge. You could argue he's maybe a little bit undersized, but we are going off of overall more than anything. So, left-hand side, Casey Austin, Juwan McLean. Right-hand side, J.D. Davison, Scott Simpson, Evan Presley. DTs, Wilcox, Childs, Bohanna. Linebackers, Cortland Ellington with Jabari Newkirk. Deion Jones, Chris Barnes, Michael Walker, Marcus Davenport, Malcolm McCoy. We do have to figure out the corner safety. Shout out to Suck Magooch for the follow. I'll think about it. Depends on your offer. Why should I grind this? It's my first time ever playing. I don't know. Why should you grind? It depends. Does it sound fun? If so, grind the game mode. If it doesn't sound fun, fucking find something else to do. Life decisions. Reddick, 77. Franklin, 75. Merritt is a 72. Thomas is a 77. Grant is a 75. Bernard, a 72. Leary, a 68. Gilbert. For sure, Fox. I know all the tricks. I know all the tricks to the names. And then it's safety. Again, it's pretty much the last thing we have to do, and then I am ready to play some FIFA with the boys if you guys want. Thomas is a 79. Reddick is a 76. Grant is a 75. Bernard is a 74. Gilbert is a 67. Franklin is only a 74. It actually drops as a safety compared to being a corner. That's pretty disappointing. Merritt is a 70. McCord, a 66. Leary, a 66. Oh, again, Reaver, you don't have... Reaver, that's the key. You gotta leave it installed. That is the key. Alright, so the final thing we gotta do is sort out the secondary options. You do have installed. Okay, good. So Terrell is confirmed to stay at corner. I'll be down after this Thursday game with Terry. Cool, you got a little bit of time. Dean is kind of the in-between. Thomas is better as a safety, so he'll definitely play safety. Reddick is better as a corner, so we'll confirm him there. Maybe. Honestly, I think we have Dean at corner. Reddick will play safety. Grant's a toss-up. Franklin is a better corner. We'll leave him there. Bernard is a better safety. Grant will also leave it safety from the looks of it. Merritt is a better corner. I'm going to leave Leary at corner. And Gilbert's at corner, which means Cord will play safety. So Terrell, good at corner. Dean, good at corner. Reddick is going to be moved over to free safety. A little bit short, perhaps, for free safety, but we'll try him there. It's promising, and again, might get that old X Factor breakout. Maybe not X Factor breakout, but a star breakout moment. Terrell, Dean, Franklin, Merritt, Leary. And then here we have Reddick, Grant, Bernard, so Gilbert, Joey Gilbert. Will be moved over to corner as well. Our safeties are what they are. Let's move Richie Grant over to the other side. And all we got to do now is just throw out the depth chart. And then if everyone's ready to go, I'll bail. And if not, I'll try to play our first game of the season. So we have 2 firsts, thanks to New Orleans, which is pretty nice. So finally, the depth chart. Johnson as our quarterback. Running back will be Beverly, Pollard, Hawkins. Ingold, Gronk is a pretty damn good fullback. And we have Gronk as our primary fullback choice. Gronk at fullback? I don't hate it. Ridley, McLaurin, Hardwick, Holcomb, Gage, Pitts. That's just cheating. And then Pitts, we'll go with Bolin as tight end 2, and then Gronk. The O-line is Colbert, Hawley, Blackburn, Holcomb, Kappa, Hennessy. Indeed, Nuge, indeed. I had to sign him as a 3rd tight end. Bradbury and Mayfield, Lindstrom and Dahlman, Austin, McLean and Presley, Davison, Simpson, Presley, defensive tackles, linebacker, Ellington and Newkirk. Pretty much love exactly how that was set up. We're looking all right. We're going to need some reliance on breakout moments and maybe some players to play above their ability. But I don't hate it. Luke Man, the Luke Man. Thank you for the follow, by the way. I don't hate Merritt. There's the guy over Gage for kick returns. Maybe we'll give Gage punt returns. Kickoffs. Let's go with Bass. He's got more power. Long snapper will be Kappa. 3rd down back is always going to be Beverly if given the choice. Power back is definitely Beverly. Slot receiver is not going to be Hardwick. It's going to be Holcomb. Then Hardwick. And then Tremaine Cage. That works. And then the rushing edge options and all of that, I will just trust the game's judgment with all of that. And the practice squad. We are good to go. Will the game crash one more time? That is the question. But we do have staff points that we can put on. Technically, we have 1 unlock that we can put on. Question is XP for wide receivers and tight ends, XP for quarterbacks. Let's definitely take XP for quarterbacks. Try to get Colts to really develop controller updates, have more updates than NHL 21. You weren't wrong. All right, so we have an 85 rated team at the start of season 3, by the way. 85 rated. That is outrageous. We lost Maurice Winston from the practice squad. So the fellas in chat, am I checking out week 1, or am I cliffhangering people and saving that for tomorrow? Which again, I don't mind. I do not mind. Let's see if we can get J.K. Scott an upgrade. Tyler Bass. Huge is down whenever. So was Fox. Alright, Reaver's got to finish this game, so we'll check out week 1 then. We'll check out week 1, and then we'll call it and save the rest of the season for tomorrow. Works for me. And hopefully the game doesn't crash. I don't know if the game's gonna crash mid-game. I haven't tried. So it might crash, it might not. That'll be the fun of it. We have no idea what's gonna happen. Or we could cliffhanger. But do I want a cliffhanger? Let's see if the game crashes before I can get into the game. Oh, yeah, it's gonna crash before I can get into the game. Absolutely ridiculous. It is 100% gonna crash before I can even get into the game. See if we can upgrade Hayden Holcomb before the crash happens. This is EA, for the love of God. Connor Leary at corner. So I guess we'll save the season opener for tomorrow. We'll take this as a warning from the EA gods that our season opener for season 3 will be tomorrow, because this game is about to crash on me again. So let's bail before we can do that.